I promise I won't get offended if you visit the restroom. I know that you're suffering a lot. Thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's what Muslims say when they want to start everything. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the Merciful. Everything started in 2012, right? A very controversial cover of the magazine that everyone knows, Charlie Hebdo. The result was a lot of extremists, a lot of Islamist people, they became angry. They burned the office of Charlie Hebdo at the heart of Paris. And later on, unfortunately, they murdered the best cartoonist of France. Charles, Wolinski, Honoré, Cabu, and my new friend, Tinius. This Islamist made the 7th of January my worst day ever. It was a very, very critical time for all of us. And for me, especially because I was not that far from the office of Charlie Hebdo. I received a lot of emails from my colleagues. They decided to exchange a lot of cartoons. The only way that they could support the victims. I tried to find an idea. I tried to avoid drawing Kalashnikov. I received a lot of Kalashnikov, for God's sake. And finally, I got this idea. Because when the terrorists killed my colleague, they shouted in the streets of Paris, "We killed Charlie. We avenged Prophet Muhammad." Well, I wanted to show them that no, you can't kill Charlie. But I wasn't healed enough. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to participate in the historical March of Paris on 11th of January. And at that moment, countless people from every ethnic that you can imagine, from all religions, from all belief, or even non-believers, they were united. And everyone knows what was their slogan. I'm not going to talk about it. I've seen my cartoon among that population thanks to a French photographer who sent it to me. And then I was healed. And then I felt, how does it feel? Freedom. What a pleasure it is to live in freedom. And I respected all years of suffering and suffering and suffering. But why killing? Why they killed some cartoonists? Some very nice and funny guys were just drawing and drawing. That was the only thing that they could do. It comes from this weird combination. Islamic State. I know that thanks to the Western media, it is a kind of new brand, fashion here. But for me, it's not at all a fashion. Islamic State is a very strange combination of two words, Islam and state, which never works. Why? It's like mixing a perfume with poop. How can it work? My proof is my life. Since 1979, I grew up in the Islamic State Republic of Iran, fabricated in France in 1979. And that became my situation as a political cartoonist, as an editorial cartoonist, since 1992. And that became the situation of freedom of expression or just expression. In Iran, it's a very, very interesting or not interesting, terrible situation. Cartoonists control cartoonists. You have freedom to express yourself, but then after that, no one can guarantee what will happen to you. To be Charlie or not to be? For me, this is like questioning to be freedom or not to be. Why is that? Let's read this text together. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. This is not an invention. This is the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights adopted by the UN General Assembly on 10th December 1948. 1948. It's terrible for me. It feels so bad that many times I hear from from the people who lived in freedom. No, we shouldn't put oil on fire. No, and you know what? Freedom, I mean, total freedom, maybe it's not that good. We shouldn't really touch the sensitive things. And they use the word respect. We need to respect, which means we need to limit our freedom to respect. But is it a real respect? I'm not sure. I prefer to call it fear. How we can experience respect if we feel threatened, if we feel fear, which I was born with in an Islamic state. To whom I have respect the most are the people who have no fear. And my symbol of those kind of people are journalists. To be journalist, to me, is to be a symbol of a fundamental right, which is freedom of expression. I believe we need to repeat this Article 19 many times with ourselves. I believe that this obvious article of the Declaration of the Human Rights has been disappeared in the Western countries. We need to remind ourselves what we achieved, thanks to millions of lives. We need to appreciate our freedom, and we need to protect our freedom. These are my heroes. These guys are my heroes. Doesn't matter if I agree with them or not. They have been murdered because of their opinion. And it shouldn't happen again. Freedom must be protected. And in the civilized countries, they need to pay for security. They need to pay for it. Security, protection of freedom of expression has a price. That's all, very briefly, my reasons why je suis Charlie. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Muslims say it when they want to finish their speak. Means peace for you all and the blessing of Allah and their merciness. Thank you.